Hello, friends, and welcome to day 19 of 90 Days with Jesus. And we have something from almost every gospel today, except for Mark's gospel. If you would like to read Matthew 4, 18 through 22, Luke 5, 1 through 11, and John 1, 35 through 42, this has to do with Jesus calling the first disciples. So Jesus did not begin his ministry in palaces or power centers. He does not gather an audience in a synagogue or align himself with religious elites. Instead, he begins on the shoreline. Fishing boats rock gently in the water. Nets are being cleaned and mended after a long, tiring night. This is ordinary work done by ordinary people, calloused hands, aching backs, familiar routines, and it is here right in the middle of everyday life that Jesus shows up. Matthew tells us that as Jesus walks along the Sea of Galilee, he sees two brothers, Simon Peter and Andrew, and we've heard about them already. They are casting a net into the lake. They are fishermen. This is how they make a living. This is what they know. Jesus doesn't interrupt them with a lecture or a test. He doesn't ask for credentials. He offers a call. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of people. There is something deeply important here. Jesus does not say, fix your life and then follow me. He does not say, become more spiritual first. He simply says, follow me. Transformation comes later. Obedience comes first. John's gospel adds another layer. Andrew has already been curious. He has been listening, watching, and asking questions. He brings his brother Simon to Jesus, and Jesus looks at him, really looks at him, and gives him a new name, Kepha or Cephas, Peter, a rock. Jesus sees not only who Simon is, but who he will become. Luke's gospel slows the moment down even more. After a night of fishing with nothing to show for it, Jesus asks Simon to put the boat back in the water, into the deep water, and let down the nets again. Simon is exhausted. He's a professional. What does Jesus know about fishing? And this feels impractical and even embarrassing, but he says, because you say, I will let down the nets. He obeys, and the result is overwhelming. The nets fill so quickly, they begin to tear. The boats start to sink. Abundance replaces emptiness. In that moment, Simon realizes he is standing before more than a teacher. He is standing before holiness itself. He falls at Jesus' knees and says, go away from me, Lord. I am a sinful man. This is what happens when grace collides with honesty. Simon sees himself clearly, and he sees Jesus clearly. But Jesus does not step back. He does not correct Simon's theology or dismiss his fear. He speaks a word of calling. Do not be afraid. From now on, you will be catching people. James and John are there too, partners in business, witnesses to the miracle. And when they come back to shore, they do something astonishing. They leave their boats, they leave their nets, they leave their father, and they follow. Each disciple leaves something behind: nets, boats, security, familiar identity, not because those things were evil, but because they were no longer ultimate. What they step into is far greater. They step into who they were created and now called to be. Discipleship always involves leaving something, not because what we have or what we leave is bad, but because Jesus is the better thing. He does not promise comfort, but he does promise purpose. He does not promise ease, but he does promise meaning. And notice where Jesus meets them. Not after they succeed, but after they fail. Not when they feel confident, but when they feel empty. Not when they are impressive, but when they are tired and unsure. Jesus still calls people this way. In the middle of work days, in the middle of disappointment, in the middle of ordinary life, he still walks along the shoreline of our routines and says, follow me. So before we continue and wrap things up, just a quick word. If this time with Jesus is meaningful for you, I'd invite you to subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, like the video, share, comment, whatever you'd like, and share it with someone else. It really does help more people to find the series, but more importantly, to have some time with Jesus. And I'm grateful for your support as well. So as you sit with this story today, consider this question. what might Jesus be asking you to leave behind? Not to lose something, but to receive something deeper. And as we close, take a moment to sit with this and other things that stood out to you today. If you're using the Jesus Stories devotional or journal, this is a good time to write. What did you notice about Jesus, and what might he be inviting you today? Let's end with a simple prayer. Jesus, give us eyes to see you more clearly, hearts open to your truth, and lives shaped by your love. Help us carry what we've received into the rest of this day. Amen. Thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll see you tomorrow as we continue 90 Days with Jesus.